So the Dark Elves attack Asgard.
Was their giant plan was to send a prisoner in there who can mutate into a giant fucking monstrosity.
He was apparently called the Cursed.
Yeah. But he just mutated into a giant monstrosity to break out of prison, break everyone out of the prison except for Loki.
I did think that was funny. Like, he just turns to look at Loki. Nah, fuck you, buddy. And then he continues on. And then Loki had his line of, you might want to take the staircase up to the left.
Which he did.
It's not like Loki even said, hey, you want to break me out, dude? Come on, I hate them as much as you do. Come on. Hey, fucking God over here. Hey, hello? Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. But still. Breaks everyone out but Loki, just so they can destroy his shield generator so they can crash into the throne room. Think they're a big tactical plan. Let's crash our ship.
Well, that was just one of their ships. That was one of the little knife shippies.
Yeah, out of like 30 knife shippies, the only one that makes it through is the one that apparently has everyone on it. The main baddie and about like 40 little guys.
I guess a lot of people can fit in one knife.
Science.
So, actually, I have to admit something. Dark Elves had the fucking, like, antimatter grenades from Torok.
They're like essentially they're gravity well grenades.
They're implosion grenades.
Yeah.
I have to admit, those were fucking cool.
And they seemed very painful, so very effective.
I did think it was kind of fun on how he just decided to throw a grenade at the throne just so it would implode.
Even though the throne at the end of the movie was fully repaired.
Yeah, fully repaired. Actually, everything was fully repaired after this fight scene. Like, things were getting fucking destroyed, columns were getting knocked over, except, scene change, everything's fine. Except for some reason they didn't get the ship out of the fucking building.
Yeah.
And the whole reason for why the ship was still in the building is just so then Thor could steal it later.
Although I noticed all the pillars that were destroyed at the beginning, and like 2 days passed, all the pillars were repaired again, and Thor crashes through them all again.
Yeah.
And somehow that building did not collapse. Apparently, Asgardian, like, stoneworkers, they are gods. They're gods among gods.
Makes sense.
Because science.
Also, when the big bad breaks into, Valhalla, which is what I assume the big building is, because no one ever makes that clear. When the big bad breaks into Valhalla with his, like, Ubermensch cursed guy, he kills Frigga.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be like this heart-wrenching, oh, he just killed my mother, I'm angry now, like, emotional.
Thor shoots lightning into his freaking face. So the rest of the movie has a burnt half of his face.
Yeah. Which was making me think of a character from a certain book, but that will be a tangent for another time. You have to admit you were thinking of it too.
Wait, what book?
My book.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so he kills Frigga, which apparently in the Marvel universes is Loki and Thor's mom. But they got that wrong with the first movie, so I'm just gonna let it slide. You know, they killed the mom just to get the Aether out of Jane, which, by the way, they didn't succeed. Thor just starts shooting lightning at the guy's face, and they're like, up, bail. Jump off the fucking balcony.
Yeah, big monster guy just, like, took Big Baddie across his arms and jumped off a balcony, conveniently placed ship.
Speaking of my book, every time they said his name is Malekith, or Malekith, or something, I kept on wanting to say it Malachite. But it's Malekith or something. In my head, it's like Malayyyth. Malekith.
Yeah. I didn't remember remember his name.
I love how... I was going somewhere with that, but I'm not going to go there anymore.
I also love how they're dark elves. Because me being a dark elf, I have sympathy for them. They're oppressed a lot.
They're dark elves, and yet, like, their leader's white. I guess, like, the only way to be a dark elf is just to hate the light.
Pretty much. That and have weird, like, helmet gear.
Yeah. Well, the helmet gear is what keeps them in cryostasis. Which, ironically, when they're actually in battle, they don't wear helmets. They just have masks.
Science.
Science masks.
Yes.
Oh. For everybody who's waiting for the next Star Trek or Star Wars movie, we just watched it. Because the whole scene when they're attacking Asgard, it felt like fucking Star Wars. With the ships and everyone shooting at each other and shit. I swear it even borrowed sound effects from the original Star Wars.
Possibly. You know, Marvel's owned by Disney. So is Star Wars.
Science. Well, good to know the new Star Wars movies are going to have great CG. Yeah, that's what a majority of this movie was CG.
That's what the majority of any movies nowadays is.
Nowadays, yeah.
I mean, they even, like, have CG explosions. What happened to a good old stick of TNT in the background?
Yeah.
Okay, so after all that...
That was a tangent.
Yeah. Back to the movie. So, the queen dies. You know, they have this whole thing where they go and they tell Loki. Loki, you know, pulls off the tough guy and for some reason has telepathy and makes the room's furniture blow apart.
That was something that confused me, because, like...
Because later on you find out that the entire room was just an illusion anyway.
No,
so he was so pissed off that...
No, he made the illusion to hide the fact that he destroyed his room.
Yes, but you have no idea how long that was there. And he was like... He looks like he was crazy for, like, a good months. So, he had his room destroyed... and had an illusion to make it look like everything was normal and he was playing the cool guy act. And he got so pissed off that in his illusion he made himself break that character and just make the furniture blow against the walls. Science!
Yo, dog, you're getting your illusions in my illusions.
So then, you know, that's when the king decides, hey, I'm gonna take this Thor's love interest hostage and be her prisoner. Trying to like saying like, oh, I know that the bad guys are gonna come for her, but we can take them. Even though about 50 of my guys got killed by one of theirs and we can't handle them, we can take them. Thor points out, it's like, so you're gonna kill a bunch of Asgards, try to get this one guy and possibly fail? How does that make you better than him? 'Cause I will win. Okay, perfect argument there.
He literally, like, Odin literally admitted, I am no better than this guy, except for the fact that I might win. Except, guess what, buddy? You lost that first battle. Your track record's not looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so Thor decides, hey, I don't like what my father's doing, so I'm going to commit the highest treason I can possibly do. And gets help from his friends, drag his friends along into the treason with him.
This is something that bugged me. I want to say this scene. He breaks Loki out of fucking prison.
Yeah.
Why? This fucker has been... Goddamn, why? No other reason for fucking fan service, because apparently everybody on the goddamn internet likes Tom Middleton.
Granted, because the Guardian couldn't let him use the transportation device, but Loki knew a way off his own.
Why didn't he just ask?
Because it's Loki. He wouldn't have told him. He would just take the opportunity to get the fuck out of there anyway. Which it turns out, you gotta love how his way off was. because apparently he's the only one that knows it, so he's the only one that found it. He had find it on his own, and 2, it was in the most random fucking location ever.
Oh, hey, just, like, it's not directions like 3rd star off till morning. No, it's just fucking, hey, ram right into this, like, fucking quarter-size hole in the mountain. And even though the gondola's not gonna fit in this little tiny hole, but don't worry, we'll make it. And they do.
Yep.
And of course they had to make the joke where every time Loki passed one of Thor's friends, they said, if you betray him, I'll kill you.
And eventually Loki got fed up and was like, well, apparently you'll have to wait in line.
Because Thor said it, fucking Sif said it, even though they say her name is Sif. Fucking Hrothgar said it, and I think that was it.
I'm surprised the human chick didn't say it.
Yeah. Again, you honestly think Jane would have killed Loki. You know, the other guys, like, their threats, you can actually believe them. Her? No, not so much.
She comes from the planet that brings you the Hulk.
Yeah, but her herself cannot kill Loki. The other guys were making personal threats.
Okay, no one likes Loki. Just go up to the Hulk. Hey, Hulk, this guy here, just smash. You don't like him anyway.
Apparently it
You smashed him in the Avengers. Just rip his fucking head off.
Yeah, apparently it didn't work in the Avengers.
Oh, and the Avengers is hilarious. Loki's like, oh, I am a god. You can't hurt me. You can't do anything to me. Hulk just grabs him by the leg, smashes him in the ground, says puny god, walks away. The only thing that Loki can say afterwards is just, ouch.
Yeah. So yeah, Thor breaks Loki out of prison, and there's this whole escape sequence. And they end up going through, like, Loki's little portal thing, which coincidentally gets to go directly to the Dark World.
Which also wants me to believe, because Loki apparently used that get off of the world in the first movie, but if it only teleports to the Dark World,
I assume...
How did he get... he was stranded on the Dark World, how did he get to the other locations from there?
You want to know how?
Science.
Science.
Okay.
I'm racking up that counter. So, they make it to the Dark World, and Thor's plan, because, you know, plans are something you think through. His plan is that if I bring Jade to Malekith, then he'll take the Aether out of him, and then I get to destroy them both right there.
Didn't work out so much. Although the plan was pretty freaking legit. I mean, you get to see Loki, granted it was an illusion, but Loki gets to cut off Thor's arm.
It was his hand.
Same difference. He was literally disarmed, though.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the big baddie's little pets of a monstrosity goes like, he's an enemy of Asgard. I saw him in the prisons. The only one guy that I did not break out for some god-awful reason.
Well, the whole reason why he didn't break him out is so then Thor can later.
But still, he looked at him, I was expecting him to tell that he was, like, you know, from Asgard, from there, and, you know, all that kind of shit. No. Later on, the fucking, like, big baddie, he's like, we can trust him. The enemy of our enemy is our friend. He was in the prison. And that I did not break out. Forgot who knows why? I don't know.
Which, by the way, I'm surprised Loki wasn't mad at that dude. Like, hey, you fucking left me, dude. What gives? But, as it turns out, everything was an illusion, and Thor actually still had his hand. Who... Tell me you weren't fooled by that.
I was like, okay, there has to be something to do with illusions. Like, I expected that the entirety of Thor's an illusion, not just his hand getting cut off. I was figuring that was all an illusion, and, like, they'd, like, sneak up behind them or some shit.
But, like, as soon as, Loki betrays them on the hill, and then they take their tumble down to their base, that I could understand wouldn't be an illusion. Because trusting Loki is a fucking dumbass move. But, however, as soon as Thor got his hand chopped off, I'm like, oh goody. There goes all that suspense. So yeah, it was an illusion. There's this big extravagant fight scene where Thor thinks he breaks the ether.
Doesn't work. It just reforms and goes straight into the bad guy.
Yeah, so bad guy absorbs the ether. He becomes a bigger bad. And they take off in their plane and go fly away to Earth.
In the meantime, Thor is trying to go one-on-one with this big baddie's monstrosity.
The Ubermensch. The cursed guy.
Yeah. So, he's going one-on-one, losing horribly. I mean, this thing can just, like, flick away his hammer as it's flying.
Which I think he did a couple of times.
Yes, that's why I said that. And then, so, for some reason, Loki goes like, huh, my brother that can kick my ass is getting his ass kicked, so I'm gonna go try to go one-on-one with this guy also.
And
Ends up stabbing him in the back with a sword, which what the monster decides to do is turn around, look at Loki, and bear hug him. So the sword
bear hugged him too.
So the bear hug impaled the sword into him. Loki takes his opportunity. He's like, he has those grenades on the belt. What would happen if I push this button?
I have to admit, like, as soon as Loki got stabbed, I heard you go, ooh!
Yeah, because that was like, it's insulting. He killed you with a hug.
Well, that's all Loki fucking needed was a goddamn hug.
Maybe he wouldn't have tried to kill Asgard if he had more hugs.
Apparently, Daddy didn't love him. You can actually sum up Loki with that. Daddy issues.
Yeah, but not the fun kind in a young teenage girl. The bad kind in a weird middle-aged man that has magical powers.
Science.
Science.
So Jane and who has the Aether taken out of her, and Thor are now stuck in the Dark World. Guess how they get back home? Remember those portals, anomaly bullshit stuff that we talked about at the beginning of this fucking review? They're back. Oh, hey, look.
Because conveniently, while they're there, her cell phone rings.
Yeah.
Which apparently, I didn't know that radio waves can go through interdimensional portals. In a cave. And still be good service.
Apparently, Svart Alfheim has better reception than the fucking high school.
Apparently. So, as they're walking around, I was like, huh, look, there's keys. And in the very beginning of the movie, how they're testing out the portals, they're throwing shoes in them. And as they're trying to walk through to find where the portal actually is, Thor's like, why are there so many shoes here?
Which, admittedly, speaking of shoes, Stan Lee has yet another cameo in a Marvel movie. I think.
Also, speaking of shoes,
because when fucking Crazy Eric is explaining the fact that the worlds are conjoining, he holds up these two shoes.
yeah,
And he goes, normally they're separated, but now, 5,000 years, they're conjoining. And he's just smashing these two shoes together. And then it cuts away and it turns out that he's in a fucking, like, old folks home or sanitarium or something.
psych ward.
Psych ward.
Because he was streaking naked at Stonehenge.
Hell, I'd do that every Tuesday. And as soon as it cuts the show that the fact that he's in a psych ward, Stan Lee goes, can I have my shoe back? There's your cameo.
Yep. Which I was waiting for that. I'm like, okay, how are they going to pull him in through here? And, psych ward. Implying that he's crazy and senile.
If you ask me, Stan Lee is kind of crazy.
But he's a good crazy.
He killed Jack Kirby. Murdered him in cold blood. Also, the Illuminati's real. Back into the movie.
Science.
Science. So they get back to Earth through a fucking wibbly-wobbly spatial anomaly.
Wibbly-wommy, timey-wimey.
And they find the wrecked car, and they decide to drive. And to figure out where, like, the worlds are conjoining, where, like, the massive anomaly is, fucking Crazy Eric pulls out a map, and he goes, the ancients, when this happened 5,000 years ago, they left us clues, and he starts, like, drawing lines on the fucking map.
Which none of those lines intersected at all, and somehow he can tell the exact location that was away from the lines.
And guess where the lines could join? Fucking London. London.
Yep.
If it was New York, I would have just gotten up and left. New York has had enough shit to do with these movies. God.
What still annoys me in the Avengers movie, only the Avengers were there, not Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, or any of the fucking named mutants, because in this continuity, there's thousands of mutants everywhere. None of them joined in the fight. They're like, let's just let these few people do it. They don't need any help of their own. They're only going against a fucking army from space.
Well, the reason why Spider-Man wasn't in the Avengers is because Disney doesn't have rights to the Spider-Man's movies. That's Universal.
Still. They could have fucking thrown the, Fantastic Four. You have a little cameo of the Human Torch in the background. Something.
Yeah, haven't a lot of people bitch about that, actually?
Probably.
Admittedly, the Avengers would have been a much better movie if the Teenage Mutant Ninja fucking Turtles decided to show up.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
Just saying. But... So, they get back to Earth. The Crucifix ship lands in Greenwich, London. Which apparently the students that go to Greenwich are fucking retarded. Get away from the windows! Are you kidding? Thor's out there with this fucking hammer and shit. The windows explode. They're still there watching. God. Yep,
if a fucking god's getting his ass handed to you by someone, you get the hell out of the area.
You get the fuck out of Dodge. I would have been in Yorkshire by then. That's a city in.
I know!
And so that's when the whole, big climactic fight scene happens. And apparently, Crazy Eric, the sticks that he's been carrying around this whole movie, which, these science sticks, have never been explained. You wanna know why they haven't been explained? Just so they can pull right out of their ass, oh, these things create anomalies now.
They were only supposed to detect anomalies, which... I don't know why you need sticks for that when the chick had a little fucking GPS-looking motherfucker. They can detect him. This guy needs 4 giant sticks he needs to put in the into the ground. So they put these in the ground and they start flipping switches, which cause anomalies and made the bad guys disappear.
Because it teleports them. But when it teleports the bad guys, they go bye-bye. But when it happens to teleport the 2 interns, they appear right back. And by the way, they're making out now because apparently they're love interests or something or other.
Yeah, well that's because the intern saved the first intern chick. Because at the time with the anomalies, it also helps defy gravity as making cars float. So this guy picked up the car and smashed it on people. At that point, gravity was active again, ironically. Because if it was still anti-gravity, they would have had the same power. It would have had the same power of the guy just hitting them with a stick. But no, the gravity chopped in the exactly right time just to smash the bad guys.
You don't know why?
Science.
Science.
Okay.
And so as Thor's getting his ass handed to him, by the way, him and Malekith have been teleporting all over fucking England because of the anomalies.
At one point, Thor had to take the subway.
Yeah, he took the fucking subway.
His hammer is trying to, as he's teleporting between other planes of existence, his hammer's flying into space and back, not knowing where to get a fucking lock on him. So he has to take the fucking subway because he can't fly.
That's another thing I kind of want to comment on. There's too much fucking comic relief in this. Because, there's comic relief, Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist has great comic relief. It doesn't have a joke every 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
This movie, it flip-flops between action and clown shoes. Ugh. And then as soon as all the worlds are combining, Malekith is sending the ether through the portals that's in the sky. And
Which apparently, we didn't explain this. Apparently, what the ether does, it turns everything into dark matter.
no, you want to know what the ether does? Like, they kept on talking about on how the ether is a great weapon. It gives you so much power. It's so powerful, it's a weapon. It gives the dude the fucking superpowers from Prototype. Because he was shooting, like, these red and black tentacles at people. Like, that was his attack with this uber power he had.
Yeah, even though it says it's supposed to turn everything into dark matter, Thor got hit by it like 20 times before he even attempted to dodge him. But did he turn into dark matter? No, he was just fine. He just is like, oh, is that all you have? You know, psh, big whoop. Nice story, bro. Tell it again.
I'm actually starting to wonder, like, in the Marvel universe, the world has been in peril so many times, I think the people have just gotten, like, used to it by now. Maybe that's why the fucking students at Greenwich are like, fuck this is better than cable.
Yeah, but the thing is, that if that's also the case, they're in peril so much, and they always win. They probably figured, you know, we'll win. It happens every time, you know. Oh, it's Tuesday, it's about time for another epic peril that's going to destroy the world, you know.
Oh, no, dude, it's fucking Tuesday. It's the Hulk's turn now.
Oh, psh. Oh, well, then we have to have some collateral damage, so, you know, I might skip out on class, because they always go for public buildings.
Oh, yeah, true, that's true. Did you hear about what happened to Metropolis? Dude, Superman fucked that whole town up.
Yeah.
That's a Man of Steel joke.
What else would you expect from, you know, Doomsday? You know, Doomsday is a big motherfucker.
I was talking about Man of Steel.
I haven't seen that movie.
Ah,
I don't like DC.
makes sense. I think I just crossed the streams and you're not allowed to do that in a review.
Not allowed to do that in, you know, in everything.
True.
I mean, just look at Ghostbusters. Shit cross the streams.